Got it, boy. But a lot of heroes are not here in the Overwatch, the classics. It's gonna be very interesting how you're gonna play, especially without the brig. But also many gimmicks like the mass res is here and all different old stuff. Like even slow Zen. It's kind of funny when we tested it. Okay, while he settles his technical issues, back to Overwatch Classic 5 years ago, where is all the old changes, no new heroes, so there's no like Brig, there's no Ana, there's no Baptiste. All this with only Lucio, Zen, or Mercy as the healers. With the mass res and all these stupid shenanigans back then, we'll see how the players adapt and relive the old classic Overwatch. And hopefully my other caster is here.
Testing. Hello?
Okay, he's back, boys.
Hello? Okay, I'm back. Well, as I was saying, so yeah, this is the Overwatch Classic PUGS. So as I was saying, before I got apparently told I was muted, even though I didn't even change any settings, and now I'm apparently back. So yeah. So obviously not everything, we don't actually have an actual time machine, so not everything can be turned back to the way it was like 5 years ago, when the game was alive and not in the state we know it as today. But for the most of the major reworks for some of the characters, it's pretty much implemented in just maybe a minor like stats here and there, like balance changes. So some of the major ones that are reverted or at least attempted to be reverted back. Of course, not everything like the UI and everything is the same. So there's the Hanzo scatter arrow, the Hanzo rework. So no lead, no lunge, and there's the scatter arrow. There's the Symmetra, the old Symmetra. The right click is very slow, does more damage. I think the beam is a lock on, and the turrets don't fly out when you activate it. And of course, there's the ability. Actually, this is the old sim before shoot generator was even a thing. So you have the E ability where you give 25 shoots to your teammates like every second or so. So yeah, and of course, as Mememachine said, the infamous Mercy mass res. I think that's the one that most people remember. That was a really major change, and after they made it OP, it's like, yeah, you know how it goes. But yeah.
It'll be interesting because there's only like 3 healers in the game right now. And Lucio in the old patch does no damage. They reduced his damage, and they increased his damage last time from 18 to 20, and now he just he's like Creeper. Hopefully, how the players will use it, and it'll be quite interesting to see what comps they'll play, especially with all these limitations.
Well, the thing is, I think in our lobby as well, there's a lot of different variety of players who have played through every meta, players who have played since the launch, and we also have newer players that didn't get a chance to actually experience all this new like reworks. And I mean, not really rework, maybe like better term is pre-work, because like rework is the one now. So yeah, like pre-work. And a lot of these like changes and stuff. Actually, I wasn't even there because I started playing in like, I remember I bought the game in the first anniversary event because there was a sale, right? But I knew about the game before, but I only bought it in anniversary of 2017. And since we're on the topic, let's just talk about how we got into the game as well, since this event is kind of nostalgia and all that, to look past so that we can look ahead to Overwatch 2 next year.
I guess for me, when I started, I played Overwatch because this is my first PC FPS. Before I played Halo, but that was like a decade ago, I guess, by now.
I mean, back when Overwatch came out, I mean, I'm still young now, of course. when Overwatch came, I was taking my PSLE, so I didn't like really have a good setup or anything. All I played was like Minecraft, Roblox. Yeah, I play a bit of TF2 casually, but like just like a few hours only. It's like, oh, I think I came into Overwatch just like a lot of my IRL friends are playing Overwatch, and not many of them are still playing now. But yeah,
I like the appeal of Overwatch because this is my first FPS I played on PC. So it's like the only FPS where you can excel with bad aim.
yeah.
And I still do it now. That's why I have this. That's why I can do it
Can you-
with bad aim. But
Can you put that item in your head, machine? I
Put it on my head? I'll put it. Oh shit.
It's inside joke, dude.
But
Yeah, it seems
first,
like. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
I mean, okay. Then what hero did you main first when you first started out?
Well, before I bought the game, actually, I like how you just threw me the question and never answered it yourself. But before I bought the game, actually, I wanted to play Zenyatta because I thought like the character design was really cool. I thought I could play it. But you know, like Zenyatta is really squishy, and back then I played the game. I was. But you can just go in, you can just continue talking. Well, anyway, since. Damn it, I lost track of what I was saying. Anyway, I like the appeal of the Zenyatta character, but after I actually played the game, right, I realized like, number one, because like I was semi-new to FPS, so I didn't really have the mechanics. I probably didn't understand the game at all, and probably just kept getting dove and died. So I think the first season, competitive season I played, I think the most I played was D.Va, but I really didn't really have a main. I guess back then I would call D.Va my main, right? But I also play a bit of Soldier and just whatnot, you know, just testing out. And then the next season I started to play tank. Winston actually. I think my second season you can see like it's basically like Winston one trick, like Winston all the way. And after that I just play main tank. Yeah. I think because my friend, I play on ranked game, I played Ryan. I didn't even play Ryan back then. I think my friend told me I was a good tank. So I just decided to play tank. But somehow or rather, instead of Ryan I played Winston. So I don't know, kind of forgot about it. How about you, Mememachine? What do you
Mine
play?
first was Farah, because she technically for me it's easy to aim. You can just miss and hit the floor. And the funny thing is back then, when I first played Overwatch, like near launch, my laptop couldn't handle it, so my frames would sometimes drop to 0 mid game. But afterwards, I went to Lucio for a while because I felt it's just fun, and people see the the clips of DSP Stanky and all those old era people. Afterwards, I moved to Rhine for a while because I got angry at main tanks in plat. And then I went back to main support or Lucio at the end because he's mechanically... No, at least the main support role, and he didn't break because mechanically easier.
Easier you say. Yes.
And mechanically, compared to like Zen and Ana, where I have to actually use my
but then
mouse and aim.
like back when you were still playing like competitively, I saw you in the like those workshop aim arenas. And you practice like whip shotting for like 30 minutes.
I always do it in queue. No. It's more like I use the... I don't know if you guys know the training range 2.0. There's a... They call a Jara code or something, where you can spawn a flying Farah. I would just use that to practice whip shots for fun when I was bored.
I mean, first of all, we can talk about Brig now, but Brig is not even in the game later.
Yeah, she's not in the game. We don't need to talk about her. She's gone already.
Yeah.
Back to pre-Brig era, where dive is all around.
Pre-break and pre-everything else. Except for Ana. Ana is enabled. Ana came out in 2016.
Oh, Ana's
yeah, anyway.
enabled. That'll be interesting.
You know, like, nowadays there's a lot of like games pretty much in a more or less stagnant state, just waiting for Overwatch 2. It's like, I think in SCA, right, most of us like kind of don't really play the game as much, not even in rank, just maybe a quick play game here and there, maybe just rank casually. It's all kind of waiting for Overwatch 2, and just have this kind of fun events to throw us back once in a while. It's pretty good. And yeah, what are your thoughts on Overwatch 2 actually, after the videos and all that?
Personally, I'm more interested in the PvE because I like games that, at least you know, like games like Doom Eternal, or even like last time I used to play with my friends Borderlands. It has that kind of vibe to it where you can encourage your characters and stuff. The PvP part will be interesting because I don't know what the meta will be. Like I speculate certain things will be strong, but from what the pros played, it looks like it's gonna be very definitely.
Yeah, but I think that's also because they played the pro mode, right? The Overwatch League show mentioned the pros said like there was a plat chat episode with Super and Space. They were like, only that game mode is very deathmatchy, but enough of that, we are actually getting the game already. And I just noticed that hero limits are actually disabled for this park session, so we have multiple of the same hero. And as I was saying earlier, I think but in this lobby itself, we have players from the whole like generations of spectrums of Overwatch and NBA. There are players who have played since the start, since the launch, like Ayako, and there are players who are generally like newer and not so experienced. But as you can see, the red team over here plays a squad tank composition, 2 instances to grind, 2 instances still on the point. The AoE thing, if you remember, like back then, there wasn't as much unit. Just storm their way on the point and just take half of it, surprising the enemy. But the enemy now is stopping onto their own triple Reinhardt position.
Who needs healing when you just have more HP, you know? This I guess is the old goats before goats even existed. People just piling bodies on each other. No, there's no sustain, but look at the Ryan, you don't care, just rush in.
Yeah, and XPC is the only one with all the damage hero in this whole lobby is Gemidex taking down. But okay, even though there was a nice shatter, so he gets taken out, and it looks like the hand Reinhardts are overpowering the tanks. Maybe less of a auto point heroes like the Winston. Like they have grinds and they have like more healing as well because they have the Ana.
They have more healing, but the red team has more damage. Or maybe just more Reinhardt in there.
Well, I think like
shatters over and over, kind of muscle.
Well, if you think about it, the blue team should have had more damage, but slightly red. Now, it's focusing on the Hanzo Hero XDC and we have like 1 DPS position, so it looks like actually go back to the normal position for the well, actually not normal to Reinhardt, but right now the red team is pushing through the choke as well, trying to manage to break through with the Winston.
Another factor is that Lucio's healing is not stack, so red team is only running with solo healer Lucio at this point.
You see, they distribute their roles properly, right? They can have one Lucio on speed boost and one on healing. So, I mean, maybe that's even better. They know that their healing is stack. You can take turns like build beat, so the one that doesn't have beat can be the one healing. You know, as the beat comes in actually from Claire, catches out for the blue team. Basically team fight right now. Only green and XP still stands, but they're basically just pushing them back to the spawn. Can't really do anything right now. Just one Hanzo versus like a bunch of Reinhardt. The 5 seconds came out fun.
PDK getting run over as they try to spawn camp, and the team almost gets the cap, and they get the cap.
Yeah, if you didn't tell me that I didn't see the top tower, I thought they would be on the second point. They were basically just pushing into their third spawn, but they just kept the second point. And there's a nice shadow coming out from Vibes Fusion, but he still falls and right now just pushing back there. The spawn game versus spawn game. Both teams trying to spawn hole as much as possible. Both comps are still relatively clear. It's just the Ana is right now for the blue side.
With 4 Reinhardts on the battlefield, you can see shatters being swung left and right.
It's like there's a weird final reach, but somehow another off-screen, like 2 people from the blue side fall, and it's another team wipe. It's just Ayako left his 1 health. He's trying to 1v1 unknown right now, unknown without a W, as just happened today. And he just falls. Claire is on the bastion.
With only the solo healer Lucio and the cut, we'll see how long they can last.
Well, I mean now Geminix swaps over the D.Va, right? This is the old D.Va. Basically, I think this is not even the 4-second defense matrix. This was the old one. Like I think it's even more. Can't remember the specifics. Yeah, then good counter the best. And right now XDC is just on the high ground, just focusing down as Unknown on the front line takes down 2.
Unknown with the flank. That's
There's a return shadow, by the way, from the side of blue team and forcing the red team back to the spawn, and Claire swaps over to the Mercy, and speaking of Mercy, Mercy now has the infamous mass res that everyone remembers for whether positive or negative reasons is up to oneself, but yeah.
That first gets exploded and you're pushing with the and the Death Blossom gets denied.
Yeah, and speaking of denies, you have to realize that this is a time where Overwatch doesn't really have much CC, didn't have much stun. Run out only stun in the game is like on the red side, it's actually probably just Reinhardt charging, that's basically it. Aggro Pops is bashing out, but team can't touch the point as the amount of tanks is just too much for the blue side of Bears. The red team caps with almost 3 minutes remaining, and that's a huge time bang actually.
You know, when there's not enough healing and there's not enough damage, just throw bodies at the opponent, you know, throw HPs at them and hope something sticks.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
for the
that's
red
what people,
team, it seems
yeah.
like it's working. I see their shifts are often on off cooldown as they just keep charging into the backline of the enemy.
I mean, the thing about the concept of throwing bodies on the point, just sustaining as long as possible, is a concept that it was not only prevalent back then, but it's still really prevalent now. It's like you can see right now the current meta, even in Overwatch League a few weeks ago, was basically just brawl. A lot of teams still opted for the brawl, like the zombie communal, but with Moira of course. But Moira isn't in the game now, and throughout the years, Overwatch has basically just been a lot of time. Most comps are basically just brawl. Like we know the Goats comp that lasted for a year now. Even these teams are opting for brawl as much as possible. But that's an interesting comp from the defense.
The thing about brawl in Overwatch history is usually just sending bodies, and usually they're very good at taking control of the objective. You know? Whether they can last on it doesn't matter too much.
I mean, well, of course, Overwatch is a game about objectives. You still need to cap the point eventually, right?
5, 4, 3.
I mean, it seems like Green, not usually a DPS player, is out here on the Widow. And another thing coming back to this, there isn't roll-lock. So if you're playing tank, you can just swap to DPS and support at any time, and vice versa. So it seems like it'll be Eren on the Widowmaker, one of his more trademark practice. Let's see if he can out-snipe Green. Favors on him definitely taking the defensive position, and he does get a snipe. Now looking on to Fafa, and that noise is actually Gemnix. Still right now hovering, it seems like one of the divas, I can't even tell who because there's two, is just trying to body block him, and Unknown on the Genji is coming up back onto the flank. And Fafa's in on the Discord, is trying to snipe him down by Green on the return, takes out both TDK's Mac and the baby diva himself. Seems like it's all out raw on the point right now, both teams are down 2 or 1. But Claire, he has the rest. He has the mass rest, so if this team get right, he can just do the classic hide and seek strategy from way back then. Hide and rest, so now that the blue team's priority should just get Claire out, find him and take him down as fast as possible before he can even use the rest.
Pretty unlucky for the red team. Aaron got 3k, but sadly his team wasn't able to capitalize. They had mass res and chance, but I guess they were grabbed off point so they couldn't touch.
But there's a catch up onto Ayako. No, without the barriers, a lot of the damage source for the blue team is gone and they'll be forced back to retreat. Just give up some space, hold on, and wait for the Desire to come back. And that's who has the mass res. And res can not only be a game-saving ultimate in this time, but it can also just be used to keep up the tempo. Let's say one person falls, you shouldn't be really that scared to just commit it on one person, because that one person can still bring the tempo back. But seems now Green gets caught out somewhere in the back line. I think there's a heavy dive from the cage. And now the Nano comes up from Delph, and speaking about Nano Boost actually speeds up the teammate that you Nano in this patch. So as you can see here, the person to a Nano, I think it's Rhino, really speed up, just manages to catch out Skanky Ship on the instant. Seems like the blue team will be winning out this fight, just pushing through the second point.
See with the double divas, they're really controlling the fight with the technically 8 seconds or 16 seconds of 8 seconds of DMs, right? They back together.
Yeah, but the defense matrix wasn't really enough to stop the Graviton surge from Ayako. Even with 2 divas, they weren't able to eat up that ultimate, and with the hammer swings from XPT, they just cleave through the opposition of the red team.
Remember that the divas defense matrix this time is a one-time use, that lasts for 4 seconds. So it's it just lasts forever, but you cannot just spam it out like the current Diva.
Yeah, and XDC was really low there, actually gets caught up and Eren will win the Widow duo. I think like Eren has basically gotten the upper hand. Once again, being in the defensive position, it's probably easier for the Widow to snipe, just taking the high grounds as much as possible, and Blue team was forced to reset. And you know what's funny about this game? I think everyone wants to try out like different compositions. Basically, after every fight, the losing team always tries to switch comps, and the red team now has swapped to a quad tank but without any traditional main tank. They have 2 Divas to entire.
No
So I
one
just
can
realized there is a bug.
hide
Divas have 1000 HP for some reason. Sorry, they have, to be exact, 902 HPs. I don't know, but it seems interesting. No wonder why both teams have. In fact, the blue teams have 3 Divas at this point. They're literally a Winston ult with that HP.
I mean, back then when the game was fresh, anyone spotted OP just abuse it, am I right? It's like seems like a C9 is actually happening from unknown. No one from the red team actually notices here, and there's a Charlie 9 11 number coming out from unknown, just waves high. No one. Finally they look back, try to catch him, but it's already too late, I'm afraid.
Both Divas having a stare down contest with their defense matrix.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Unknown isn't using his distant matrix. He just has so much health, and because most of the health is actually armor, and I just noticed even in Baby Diva form, he has like 251 HP. Look at that, Fafa can't even do anything with the 2 defense matrix, just shoved right into his face. He literally cannot shoot anything at all.
With the 900 HP Divas, both Divas are just standing still, shooting at the enemy, because they are almost unkillable. With grass to catch.
Ayako is not really that that good right there with that Graviton Surge. Catches out no one is zoning grab as people call it nowadays, as the ult is coming down the Nano. However, this ult can actually turn the fight, but they don't have the Nano Blade just yet because Gemini is just swapped to the Genji. Just see where Delph actually uses his Nano, but the rest of the red team this year have 6 point in. Yeah, they don't even have a Lucio for this brawl from the thing. Mercy, Zen and Eren catches out Ayako on the Genji.
The Discord matrix, especially with the reduced healing from. Since blue team only has 1 healer, the Discord matrix will come in super handy. And especially then with mass res, you don't really need much heal, you just res them up when they die.
Yeah, it's like blue team right now overpowering just with sheer tank presence from unknown. Or should I say unknown now? With a W. As it's just the lone keeper from the side, so I thought, okay, so trying to spoil as much as possible. I mean, he's doing a good job because of the sheer amount of HP that Diva has. Finally, the
Fafa tried to get back with his Transcendence, but he's not used to the snail that is Transcendence. He managed, he couldn't, and he got caught off guard.
Yeah, charge coming here, Eren uses the blade, and he doesn't have the nano boost or anything, he just gets grabbed. Ana on Steam, and the nano, return nano comes out onto unknown. I think the Ryan from start, the blue team has been able to take so much space this match. But even with the amount of space, even with the damage they're doing, they still have a lesser time back at the end of the day. Even if they roll this fight and the next, they still get a lesser time back than the red team. And but look at that, we're actually nearing to a play right now. Will this be the first successful play we see today? But will it be another whip? Seems like it's going to be the latter because the trance comes out from Fafa. Even with the movement debuff, still managed to save this team because all is just moved up in that corner. I don't really know right now. Can just get a boost both and the bubble the monster fires. Looks on the back line, misses the charge, gets slapped however. Fire Strike almost takes down both supports, but the opposition, the rest of the red team is managed to follow up, and seems like the blue team will be driven back to this spawn, forced to rethink their approach. And I expect another composition swap probably, judging by how this game has been going so far.
I found out the red team strategy especially with the 100 HP. They're just sitting down there.
That was 4 defense matrices going on at a time, and 4 like 8 seconds. Yeah, that guy is not having fun over there getting staggered. I know he
defense matrix rip the grab, but the grab's not gonna come off.
And this is the advantage of this back in 2016. I'm gonna just roll swap. Screw the tank. Who needs tanks when you just play May, am I right? Basically just another glorified tank. But the red side has the real tanks. They have the 4 divas, Ayako, even with the Desire charge, even beaming down through the DM and can't really do anything. But I think the blue team has actually found a strategy. They're playing all the blue characters that shots will actually go through the DM and just trying to take advantage. But no one actually touches the point. It seems like the team 2, the red hand side, will be winning out this match. And speaking about winning, actually, this event actually contributes to our PUGS wins for the end of the month. So basically, if you're new here, this is the Project Heroes program, and one of our programs, amongst many others, is we have weekly PUGS every Saturday, and most of the time it's just normal competitive settings. After a while, maybe we go to like golds because a lot of people want to play it, but every win you get contributes a point to your leaderboard, and at the end of the month, every month, the person with the most amount of wins actually receives a token from us. It's just a bit of bliss bucks. Maybe you can save it up to buy Overwatch 2 or who knows what, like loot boxes or Overwatch League tokens, whatever you want, man.
Oh, and especially since it's by total wins and not just win percentage, you're encouraged to come down. So even if you lose a lot, don't worry, you still can win. Like last month, I think the number, or 2 months ago, was like the number 1 was at like a 60% win rate. But he still won because he came to like most of the games.
Yeah, and the thing is to reward people from coming every week. And of course, good incentive, you know, like most of the time nowadays in rank, especially in season 30, I don't know why. Maybe you can tell me the reason, but there has been a mass influx of Roadhog insta-lockers these days in the rank servers. In every region, not even SEA, across every rank. And I think PUGS is a way to escape that brutality, obviously.
You can ask one of them, but he's in chat. Ask Suku. Suku is one of those hog players.
That one is. He's not even hog, dude. He's just a cool trick, dude. I don't know, man.
We lost him. He has fallen to the dark side of hog. I think currently, especially in the rank 30, a lot of people have like just want to have fun, you know. So they just want to play.
Season of chaos, dude. I'm not having fun playing against and with hogs though. Maybe I should just take out hog myself, but can't be bothered with that hero, dude.
When you're not having fun, you pick the hog and then you have the fun. You know, only one person in a team can have fun. So that's why in Overwatch 2, there's only one tank. So you are the only one that can have fun. You know, you don't need to share the fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically playing one tank anyway now in Overwatch 1. You just have a hog flanking around, not even doing his job. It's basically just one tank anyways. One tank, 3 DPSs, dude. Yeah, speaking of hog, I mean, hog is like the quote-unquote doom fist of like tanks, right? You either feed or you pop off. Go in, you either get faced with like 6 stuns, a hack or whatever, or you hook someone, get 3 on the flank.
You know, this piece of famine characters, you know, some people like, some people hate. I mean, it's just what it is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, personally, as a main tank player, I don't like hog. Not playing games, not with. Even if he's popping on a team, I still don't like it. So I basically give it up, man.
I mean, I don't care as a main player, I just wait.
Yeah.
Just stun them.
I mean, right now, everyone, I guess, understandable. Like, no one really plays importance on your rank currently. Most people are just anticipating Overwatch 2, just breathing in, enjoying the 6v6 as we know today, as long as possible. Reminisce, savor, nostalgia. Style words that pop out every now and then as people remember when Overwatch was actually alive at some point in time. Seems like I've lost my co-host today. He has disappeared from the realm of the internet.
Just got someone came into the room, disturbed me.
He's back.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
And as we head into Dorado, we have some new players, some new rotations into the play. Yeah. And I think we'll be playing 5 maps today, so all the action for everyone, even if you didn't play one match, you will definitely go into another. I think we have like around 15 or like 13 to 15 people today, so everyone has a fair chance to play back the nostalgia, even if you wanted that. Even if it's not nostalgic for you, you can at least like enjoy what people used to enjoy. Because I think a lot of the newer players these days, they didn't really get experience when Overwatch was truly alive. Everyone around was talking about it. People were talking about school, like I'm GM in Overwatch, you know, like the cool kid in the class, you know. Obviously not me because I'm hard stuck diamond, but yeah.
Back in the days, at least for season 20, back when top 500 was actually something.
Yeah, it was like 4.4 back then. Now it's like you hit 4.1, you're like top 500. It's like
Back when it top 500 was barely 4.3 and now it's just 4.1. But that's
like
good for me because I kinda I don't have to try as hard to get top 500 anymore. Yeah, especially for anybody, you can just try the open queue or even the.
I mean, the player base have shrunk exponentially since the game's launched, so obviously the top 500 will be a wider margin to let more people like flex their icons, flex their sprays or whatever. It seems like a classic dive will be coming out here from the red team versus the Farah Mercy from the blue team. It'll be Coral, also known as Akami, one of our most flexible players in Singapore. On the Genji, to show his chops on the Shuriken. Already getting 58% of his ultimate, which I want to mention that also global ultimate charge rates are also way higher than the current state of the game. Because I think throughout the years, people realized that ultimates may be a bit too OP to have every 5. This is nerfed, especially after Golds and after the first chain. I think it got nerfed 2 times throughout the game history. DPS traits from both sides, Aaron taking out Green and vice versa on the Tracer and the Kree, but Nano boost onto Gemini X on the Kree. Faces 8-second defense matrix as Akami returns with his own play. Nano coming out from Delph, takes 1, takes 2, looking for the Diva Mech right now. I think that's all he gets, but stays 8 seconds, so it's just more time to shine that blade.
I think that was the first Nano Blade of this PUGS. And that reminds us why they nerfed the ultimate generation. Even though the previous Blade shown have not proved success, but at least with the combination of Nano Blade, it would just be insane. At least we are out fast previously.
Yeah, definitely. Gemini X returns the favor, kills off XDC. It seems like they'll be advancing back to recapture the point. Primal Rage popped out from the blue side. Leguac trying to displace as much as possible, and the red team with a classic dive, but they actually don't have the Lucio. They have the Mercy. I think they just want a full pocket on the carry DPS, which is Koro right now. He already has enough blade when Delph is like at 50%. He's just doing so much, generating so much damage from his team. Takes out Gemini X, a valiant effort there, but DK has a rest shoot. He chooses to use it, but I don't think he'll be investing it onto a Soul McCree as his team still has the opportunity to retake here with the amount of outs they have. The Nano boost coming out on Imran, and then Barrage comes out, takes himself and takes 2 and himself, so actually 3. And a bit forced to reset back to spawn.
The mass res comes back in, but only res just Farah. And now they can just hold here at 6. The next fight, they have the Diva Bomb. However, red side has the Nano Blade combo. Let's see how they engage with this.
Well, we're now looking up onto the roofs. Building up the Nano Blade is Coral, pops it out, targets the 3TK, gets it. Now looking for Anna. Fafa is in trouble. The sleep got the flag. He has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Coral is coming out with the blade. And seems just tanks the back so low. Coral basically a 3k that fight. And you can really tell who is the main damage dealer from the side of the red team. And you know something, right? I'm actually glad both teams are running a normal 2-2-2. No double heroes, no random shit. It's just like normal Overwatch as we know today, but you know, like basically like less easy, more freedom, like not really much punish, but you know who's punishing the opposition is Green, and the Widowmaker catches out both, and very important right now as he catches 3S. That'll be the red team once again attacking, and they're basically rolling through the blue team right now. Look at the time bank Mememachine, it's basically at 4.5 minutes.
Interesting how both sides are playing 2-2-2 basically. Back then, I heard the meta used to be 6 monkeys. Maybe that was just when the start before.
I really don't think the meta was 6 monkeys Mememachine, because basically you can just play anything and just there's no healing. I think the meta was more like 2 Winston's, 2 Lucio, and 2 of something, I can't forget. I think 2 Traces probably.
Oh yeah. Lucio was, especially if you guys didn't know, the role main support came out from back then because pre-Overwatch, Overwatch when you just released, Lucio was like played 100% of the time. So that's where the main support heroes came from.
I mean, main support also basically Lucio 1 tricks but back then, but the level of Lucio players back then wasn't really that high. But moving on to the topic, we have now Nano Blade come out with the damage boost from the pocket from Ayako. Takes some true again, once again, Akami consistent and always with the blade, as even now chooses once to mirror the Genji's phone. But this fight is being won. I just like the better was saying like back then, like a lot of people like because you basically have a Lucio all the time, right? People just because Lucio back then, like the war ride was different, it's much harder to do it. People like didn't really couldn't master it because of the physical limitations of the game. And most people just threw like their so-called least mechanically skilled player on Lucio in pro setting, but I think one region that really showed the full potential of Lucio's career, I think a lot of Western teams went to Apex back then, we saw what the Korean Lucio's doing, tried to emulate it, a lot of OG Lucio players back then.
The old Lucio was very weird back then.
Yeah, I think there's
How you can only
not as
cannot
smooth
war
as
right
right
on
now, yeah.
2 parallel surfaces or something like that. That's where previously a lot of Lucios use different designs. Oh, hold up, we have a blade, a damage boosted blade, and managed to get 2.
I mean, that's not really a surprise right now for Akami. Is basically building up Blade, especially with the global out buff. This workshop code is basically building up an Nano Blade every fight and just cleansing through the Rip Blue team. They need to find a counter fast, and without the stance that we usually have of the present, they need to find another solution. It seems like Hawk will try to beat their counter, but it might just be too late. They're looking at the capture at 3 minutes already as Gemini X swaps to the Tracer. Must get back to the point as fast as possible now. Prodding and poking for the back line, catches out. Both supports, but there's a nice leap coming out from Delph, but Iran counterplays with his own Nano Blade, trying to show Akami that he's not the only capable Genji in this server right now as he takes down 3.
Oh, the blade comes huge with a 3 hit. Aaron comes in with the damage boosted Nano Blade and it just cleans up the house of Red Team.
Yeah, and they managed to stall the time bank actually by 3 minutes from 4.5 to 1.5 right now. His Vibes Fusion will get the stagger onto Claire.
You
But I
can
think
see
that-
a Nano Blade coming out for the Red Team, however, the Blue Team has a mass res. The TTK can literally just sit in spawn and just waste the
Well,
entire
can't
map.
do that. I mean, Ayako can't do that anymore. TVK still can, but I don't think he'll be needing it because Gemini just catches out too right now. I don't think that trade will even matter much because Ayako's dead, which means no mass to rest there. This is good. Good shot by Gemini X, taking out the key potential fight changer for that fight right there early on.
Quite huge from the Blue Team. They managed to whittle down the time bank from a 4 minutes 30 to now measly 45 seconds. Let's see, however, Red Team has the Nano Blade.
As you can see there, Leclerc tries to take a breather, but he needs to realize that you can't really do that in the open anymore. There's no health, there's no resistance, you can't move during take a breather anymore. It seems like Coral once again cleaning house, and it's nothing, not really much to emphasize now, because like, it just basically happens almost every fight. It's nothing surprising. And Blue Team needs to find a counter fast, if not they'll be staring down the barrel of a bit of a loss, basically.
This fight has basically come down to whose Nano Blade has been better.
I mean,
Yeah,
back
but Nano
then,
Blade, he seems like every minute with both teams charging up really fast.
if you think about it, most of the CCs, as you know today, comes from the post-release heroes. Like, basically every post-release hero has like at least one CC. Some have like literally all 3 of the correct. All 3 of the abilities literally is CC, like brig or whatever. Back then, basically, Nano Blade was just 8 seconds long. Nano could speed. It's basically like indestructible. It's like you saw the rise of like many huge Genji players and many people trying to play Genji back then. Shadowburn, Haxel, who are you even?
Prophet and Prophet Genji and your EQ's Genji also really good.
Yeah. I mean, EQ is like more modern times, I guess. Wasn't really known back then. It was like Shadowburn show, like in Korea it was like Haxel.
Truly is wasted on the young.
Oh, come on, Anna. I bet you got up to all sorts of trouble when you were my age.
And it seems like for the first time this PUGS, we'll be seeing a Symmetra. And if you can see the health bars of the attacking side, they all have that little one square of like shield HP. And that's actually the old sim, not even old sim, like the super old sim, like still went through 2 reworks. The only hero who has went through 2 reworks since the game's launch, able to give the teammates shield every second or so. and it might not seem like much, but in the long run, it amounts to actually a lot of shooting being able to gain, and that shooting can actually save you from like maybe a potential one shot from like something that can kill you. And Green right now, trying to blink, and I think he's still gonna get catches out as he's forced to use recall, but nicely from Delve, catches out Iran.
Back then, Symmetra was a support hero.
Yeah,
so that's why technically blue team is playing with 3 supports. If the current sim that's played has the auto aim build, so it's basically you don't need to aim. You can just free shoot. And
I
you
mean
just
back
get
then,
the idea.
right, when Sombra first came out, like I mean Sombra's not in here, but back then like people used to play Sombra even as a DPS as a support also. So you see like a Lucio or something, like Lucio or Ana or something, and just want Sombra as a support. Because back then you would get outcharged with EMP, but that's beside the point because Sombra's not even out to play today. But you know what's out to play then is Tracer from Zara Green catches out too. Rest of the team chooses to reset XTC. It's basically cleaning up the point and Coral. I think the blade a bit unnecessary, but it is what it
Both
is.
teams are trading blades.
But hey, somehow or another, the red team actually managed to finish out the fight. And even with the the trial for heroics there from Iran is not enough to turn the tides into his team's favor, as the blue team will be forced to reset, half of the time bank being taken away, gone already, beside the blue team. And they're actually
Monkey
playing
jumps
solo
in to
tank.
split off the back line. They're currently with Zen. Zen and Sim in the back line. The solo monkey manages to kill 3.
Yeah, this game, this match is literally being just the battle of the 2 Genjis. The tanks are just there to help out a little, and Gemini X realizes Sim is a bit too successful. I can't really to dive and just stops off the Hawk, the anti-dive hero, trying to put a stop to Coral's Genji as the red team once again successfully holds. 1 minute left, not much time left for the blue team, but they managed to force out the D.Va out from Claire. Nice anti right there, catches out, punishes Gemini X. Looking to put a blade, but thinks twice as Akami chooses to back out momentarily. The blue team needs to catch up him out now. Twaddle King cannot die this fight. Like, need to emphasize that he literally cannot die. Like, if the Nano Blade wipes out his team right now, he cannot be the one to fall because he has the res, but he does. That's game-changing ultimate taken out of play for the blue team.
However, the red team uses the Nano Blade a bit too early, so now they cannot stop the blue team. Sorry, the blue team has their own blade up, a damage boosted blade.
Gemini X basically playing mystery heroes this round. Third hero he has played this round. Now swaps the Zarya. Maybe trying to give a projected bubble to Iran as he pulls out the blade, but no nano basically means he's at a disadvantage compared to Akame, but he still managed to catch up the mag, but the transist there from Ayako. And a support player who has been playing since the dawn of time. Seems like with Technical Visor is just cleans up. The red team and finally the blue team are getting distance on the payload. But the red team still has time to catch up. One more fight, maybe with Ayako being staggered, that's not necessarily an opportunity anymore, but they're still trying to make it count and just end the game right here and now, but they choose to back out, choose to give it up. I think that's probably the safe option and the better option, I think. Oh, there's a Genji diff right there. He just managed to take out 2 people with the neutral with the dash resets. TK, I think he's in trouble right now. Yeah, he's dead.
Sacrifice his life to build the alt charge of the Genji. Especially with this, I mean, especially both teams, you know, they're just trading blades. I think that is pretty good, you know, just pocket the Genji blade every fight and then just win.
But I think
you're alt faster than the enemy Genji, and hopefully they don't have a transcendence.
yeah, but I think the red team was the loser of this trip because both the back line got taken down, and even right now with the blade, they can't really find the mercy. Finally gets it. The graph, just for show, I guess. Not really necessary yet. As blue team continues to advance on the point.
A bit of a wasted bomb there, but I guess it's just to chase off the enemy soldier from the high ground. Or Aaron comes up huge, catching off the enemy soldier.
Oh.
However, Coral takes out 2 by himself.
It's just me, or I just feel Genji does more damage with the normal shurikens. Maybe it's just because less cluttered game, maybe there's more opportunities for singular pop-off moments. Is Koro once again with a 5k this fight? Can he get a 6k?
Even the
Basically
6K.
gets it.
Nope,
Yeah.
he down
Cut.
yoinks it.
And basically, this game is just Akame's highlight reel free real estate. Blue team is yet to find a counter. Maybe even like a past few times he managed to get his own blade, but Akame has been consistently getting more value out of it, pushing his team to success.
It's
But
really
great-
good considering. Wait, hold up. There's a pause coming up.
I mean,
However,
you can-
for
yeah.
at least for Aaron, he's been coming up huge with the blades, even without the nano. He's just been doing the damage booster blades, constantly getting 2 or 3.
I mean, damage boost can basically be a substitute for the blade. I mean, I guess nano boost, like compared to now, is probably way more advantage because you still have the speed boost, right? I mean, red team are basically doubling down right now. They both have the damage boost, they both and the nano boost. So basically, they have like all the buffs for the side of Coral. Seems like just as we go back to our cameras, we're going back into the game. The action resumes.
You can see, even with the 4 seconds VM, both teams aren't really using the VM. They're just trying to stagger it, taking it. And then see with the nano blade coming up. He gets out and he gets shut down.
Yeah, but instead of the nano blade, it's Gemini X from the opposition who's cleaning up house with neutral Zaya. Primary fires, Vibes Fusion catches his own onto Iago as the blue team, through all odds, still managed to push through second point. Blade there just to clean up. Maybe a bit of overcommitment. He's anti right now, but he's still with the damage boosted slash. He still catches out. But with the mass rest just to up the tempo, maintain the tempo as he tries to look for the red side mercy.
Are they trying to spawn camp the enemy? Are they managed to catch anyone? Oh, they only got the Diva.
It's less of a spawn camp, I think. It's just catching people from those spawns.
They keep a counter. That's 2 grass this game that has been thrown at nobody. If we can keep that up.
You know, it's not even the Diva with the 8-second matrix eating it up. It's just a bit of a fluke there, a bit of a whiff from a lot of Zayas today.
There's a dry nano on the Genji. I guess it's to farm the nano. I'm sorry, to farm the blade. When we just a dry nano, he manages to get 1. But only 1. I don't know if it was worth it, but you know, I guess they won the fight with just that 1 nano.
And actually, if you think about it, even though we're reverting back to 2060, the tempo of the game has gotten significantly faster than if you watch probably Overwatch of 2016. And it's because concepts is basically evolved over the past 5 years. Even when we throw it back, like even we like give people like of the present, like the original patch, they probably play the game way differently than people used to because they just understand the game way more. Concepts is getting so much more advanced. You see Green here trying to 1v3 in the back line, but his whole team is basically taken down around him. And
Yeah, especially with the new game knowledge compared to the old Overwatch. Even the places we hold used to differ a lot from back then.
yep. Akame has been doing it all game. This is one final blade, one final pull. How can he clutch this out for his team once and for all with the 8 seconds? Right now, even the current game, he probably wouldn't have been able to catch that Lucio, but with the extra 2 seconds of dispatch, he actually managed to slash down Fafa Zin. But I think that doesn't matter because TTK mass rest, both of them, and Gemini X with high charge is beaming out. Everyone is coming out spawn, and it seems like the blue team can actually cap this.
This is the reason why people dislike Mercy players. I guess this is where it started from the mass rest, you know. Red team was so close to beating out the fight, but just TTK swooped in and managed to rest too.
Yeah, it certainly starts outskilling your opponent just to have one mercy, just press one button and revert all that hard work. And as Aaron finishes up shop, and the blue team actually manages to cap through the 3rd point, but at a really heavy time bank disadvantage here. Actually not that heavy, I thought the red team gotten more, but it's only 20 seconds. I think I'm
Initiating
'Cause actually, I think I get an impression because they came into A with like 4.5 minutes. I thought they got a really huge time bank, but I think forgotten the blue team actually managed to stall all of that out just to 20 seconds. And it's basically any game for the taking right now. 20 seconds is a lot, but it might not really that huge of a difference maker. If the blue team are able to clutch out some fights, they still can win this game.
The server may have an issue. Let's see if we still work. Currently,
might
there's a
might be a
unexpected-
workshop overload. Yeah, I think it's a workshop code overload there, and it seems like this is a draw maybe.
but hey, by Scrimbuck standard, the red team won by 20 seconds. You know, Scrimbuck. That's what we do for Scrimbuck. You know, to boost our ego.
Yeah, win by 1 second doesn't matter. It's our victory anyway. Suck on that.
That's
man.
right.
Like those people like they win the first map, they lose the rest, and they're like, oh, we want to scream, guys. Only the first map counts.
Or the reverse, you know, where they lose, they only lose the first map. You know, they always like, first map is just a warm up map. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe even if you lose the first 3, you know, people will just say, the first 3 just a warm up map.
Yeah, you lose everything, you win the last map because the enemies like get like they loosen the nerves, they do a bit of trolling here and then it's like, no, we want to.
No, winner just, you know, the last one, winner takes all. You know, it's like saying.
Yeah. See, no matter how hard you fall, it's how you come back up. You know, win the last map. I basically want to scrim. You just give me like the scrim box exchange. You know.
Hopefully the string box rises up. The exchange rises up, or we'll crash and burn. Usually on stage.
I mean, SEA scrim bucks in 2021 is basically like dollar value like 0. There's no one even screaming. There's no scrim bucks to get if there aren't any bucks to get. Yeah.
Let's see if the code works. They're trying to fix it up and set up the. Are they doing the next map?
Yup. Should be the next map. Maybe we can get a confirmation. But speaking of this event today, I think like let me just speak more about the Project Heroes program. So it's like sort of like a community effort to like sort of bring back the game, like stabilize it, like, you know, stabilize the player base a bit, and you know, Overwatch 2 comes out like it's onto Blizzard at that point. But we're just having just fun casual events here and there.
Yeah, like want to build up the community before the Overwatch 2 happens.
Yeah, I mean not really build.
Up, you know?
I mean not really build up, but like more of like stop people from leaving. You know, like stabilize it, like make it flatline instead of going down. Yep. But yeah. I mean, you want to learn more, you can always join our Discord. I think there should be a Twitch command. I think like I don't know, like !mark server or something. Yeah, or you just follow our socials to like have updates on all the events. But I think most updates should come with Discord. Speaking of events, sign up for the communities versus post show match if you haven't already. It'll be a fun show match, a best of 5 casted, of course, by players who are considered pro or semi-pro in our region versus like maybe newer, less known community figures. Yeah, sign up. It's a community vote, public vote, so anyone can play. Get chosen to rep your division, and maybe show the pros who's the real pro. I don't know.
Yeah, even though I'm playing as the quote-unquote pro, hopefully I get to play something that I cannot play, like PPS, even the standing.
Yeah. Seems like we'll be getting into the Lijiang Tower. A lot of the OG fan favorite maps today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1.
Seems like it'll be quite standard composition aside from the Ryan. Normally we have a Winston for the red team. It's all our whack coming out from the blue side. Double off tank, a Symmetra. Of course it's unknown. Even though the old Symmetra never afraid to pull out one of his signature heroes. Funny specialist hero. Funny hero specialist, a lot of people say these days, as both side tanks are getting low over side of the red team. Let's see whether the blue team can capitalize, but there on the Lucio, trying to deny the flanks from the back line. But X4 gets done. There's a really fast nano coming out from the side of Blue Eyes. One of our more veteran players in the scene now. But even with the efforts, even with that nano boost, not enough to keep Buttx DPS from the side of the red team up, as the Symmetra will be stabilizing on point. And just that auto lock beam is just deadly, man.
The blue team running with the double off thing. It's kind of interesting how they managed to beat the Rhyme comp. You know, this shows that pre-Overwatch, anything goes. That are different. Even the changes are all different. You know, anything can happen.
Yep, definitely.
The nano sim. Unknown doing his thing.
Yeah, and it seems like the red team managed to take back advantage of the point. The blade coming out from Fafa right now. No nano because that was given on to ButterX for the previous fight. Just a vanilla mage still managed to get a top clear, however, and that should be enough because the rest of the team are enough at. I have no idea. I think that was the Symmetra teleport. The ultimate? Pretty interesting, yeah. But I got destroyed, so it's not like the blue team can just TP back to the point. But Skankiship is already here. Yes, the graph is beat and the nano coming out onto the Tracer. Really bucketing the DPS here is the red team as they try to raise the tempo a bit, as IU Blue Eyes will be taking out TTK. Leclerc, Skanky both get the recipe traits themselves for the team. It seems like it's both for V4 right now, but the red team does not have any damage source right now. They're trying to beam down Blue Eyes, gets the kill. Skanky ship may fall here, but this is support's gone. Only Gemini X on the point, just trying to do as much as Lucio, and that he does takes out the opposition. Lucio, the mirror battle has been won, and also low right now. Swaps the sim to the Genji, trying to stall as much as possible as the blue team has actually regained control of the point. Nicely coming out there, followed up by Unknown on Coral.
You're going to be okay.
Seems like Mememachine has died, but yep. I think it's just me right now. Clash managed to get a boop off the environmental Q onto ButterX for Yato, primed out with the nano, looking to maybe give it on to Unknown or the Zarya beside, just because Unknown doesn't necessarily have the blade right there, and right now just 30 more %, but the fight has already seemed to be won. They chase back the red team back to spawn as Coral swaps to the McCree, trying to offer some CC solution to the Genji versus the red team. Blue team as Fafa on his own blaze, anti-up, low HP. Still catches the Quack, however, but the Baby Diva were taking on his own Nano Blade coming out from Unknown. Spots the McCree, spots the Ana, takes down both, actually not both. Ana gets finished up by TDK, good team effort there. Returns to the point. That's a very long blade right there with the 8-second blade. Diva low HP, is forced to run now, but Claire is there back to start the point. He almost has the beat right now.
Another graph thrown at the wall. We count that as
Mememachine's
number.
back.
The third graph that's gone. Nothing spells out like this gardens like Lucio's getting environmental kills, you know? I think there's both Lucio's got at least one environmental kill this map.
Yeah, it will be the red team, the blue team taking the first round on Li Jiang.
1-0.
And it seems like people are just basically opting for Genji today. Genji, basically with a Nano Blade, unstoppable basically in this current patch. Why not? Just have fun, no one can stop you, just walk around, speed around, just slash here, slash there, kill everyone inside.
Let's see, both teams now they're running the Lucio. Actually quite surprised at how the Lucios are still finding value, especially with the lower damage they're doing.
Yeah, but the first time for the first time today.
Combo is gone.
For the first time today, we'll be seeing a Pharah from the red team, but look at the blue team's composition. They're basically running goats with the McCree. No break in the game just yet. In this current year, we're trying to emulate, but Caro on the it's up to the Diva and the McCree from the side of blue team to take down Karo on the Kree. He catches the Hanzo, but with the anti-nade, there's nothing much he can do. Jamia X possibly free back to his team because his partner in disguise is not there. Seems like with the sheer point presence of this sustained comp, the blue team managed to take control of the point, but Fafa's trying to come back on the Reaper. Takes out one.
With the budget goals, they're really good at taking the point. Whether they win the fight, it's yet to say, but they're still in control and taking over the point.
The grab comes out from Skanky Ship along the net onto Unknown, but gets taken out by Karo. Bring down rockets in the sky as D-Mac comes out onto the device, but rX4 finishing up along with Karo and Zaya. And that's 2k, 3k maybe in fact from Karo as he is primed up and ready to unleash the barrage next fight. But TPK he has like 8 seconds of DM, so it's gonna be really hard to pop on the barrage and get kills here. But rX4 needs to charge his bubble, time his bubble well, but he already uses it onto the Rhine, so Karo basically has nothing to help him with this barrage right now except for the pocket of Gemini X, but he pops the barrage, gets shut down by TPKS, Unknown making space on the point and takes down 3 as the tanks who have come out to play this fight on the red blue team.
Though it seems like with the 4 seconds of DM, right, you think that it will be easy to stop the far out, but you saw what they did, they just baited out the DM and just barrage the far barrage the Diva. But that didn't really work out.
Funky grab there from TPK. Funky grab there from TPK catches out the Lucio, but that means there was no defense matrix for a split second. But X4 takes advantage of that situation, pops the grab and pushes the team on to capitalize and taking the space right now. 2 people so low, but Unknown in the Rhine, what a menace he is. Another fight where he catches out multiple people and it's just butter X4 and his tanks right now. It seems like both teams are opting for this demi-ghost competition, and ghosts before ghosts was even a thing. But one side has the Reaper, one side has the Kree. I think the Reaper is more favorable in this situation because it's basically just shooting tanks. That's what a Reaper was basically made for, as Claire gets taken off the map there.
Let's see if any team will try the Hawk variant of the Ghost too. Because at least back then, people ran the triple tank with the Hawk. The Hawk just flanks and one-shots people.
Yeah, definitely. As the bomb comes out, Skanky Ship didn't have his own personal bubble to protect him from the nuclear bomb being thrown right onto his face as Fafa Z along with Fafa Zin along with that cleans up 3.
Let's see, Mother X4 has the grab. Let's see how they're gonna work out with this.
Oh, Ethan? Doesn't matter. I think there's cast curse right there, but the own grab comes over on the blue team. High Noon along with it, but gets taken down. It's Unknown. Trades coming out from the tanks on both sides, but is there a disadvantage to the red team? But Fafa's video both has the Reaper out, catches out the Shattering. Reinhardt 2 on the ground, but no capitalization from his own squadron as Fafa has the Death Blossom. Looks like he doesn't even need it as he's saving up for the potential last fight of this round. Trying to even up the score on Li Jiang to 1-1. Looks on the flank. Ayako needs to spot this either Ayako or the Diva, but he already used up most of the defense. But he goes up to sleep right now. Ayako, the Nanoost comes out. Comes in the front. Shadow comes out along with it. Ayako manages to survive the sound barrier with 2 members on the team. Does not, as Vibe Fusion takes advantage of that. Takes down 2. Someone's there to contest the point. Claire is there, but the rest of the team around him falls. He's just alone. Hero on the point, trying to stall as much as possible, but no one in his team is going to be there for a few seconds, and he gets taken down. The overtime wig will burn down. Grace coming out asleep onto Leclerc. It seems like with this counter, bringing out their own demi-ghost composition with their own flare, with their own style with the Reaper, manages to out-brawl the McCree variant, and red team will be evening out Li Jiang.
A really close match from both sides with I guess it's who can carry harder. I guess it's Coral versus TDK. Let's see.
Yeah, and heading down to the control center, if there's any time to pull out a broad curve position is definitely this map, no matter what meta it is. Like whether it's dive meta, poke meta, this map always just revolves around broad. At the end of the day, no team has taken your suggestion yet to play out the Roadhog, but it seems like after realizing what the power Reaper can do, blue team has now opted to use their own Reaper, and now instead of the Quag, it'll be Skanky on the DPS. The Vibe Fusion already swinging out of might, taking out to half HP, but the amount of healing is just so much there, along with the defense matrix to cover him. No player has fallen yet, but Vibes is looking very low right now, but the tanks of the blue team collectively is looking even lower, but TDK has no fear. He has the aggression built into his blood, is looking to push as possible. Finally manages to retreat as his shoot is getting taken down, and the rest of the red team are collapsing all around the tank on the blue side. Shadow comes out, catches out two. 5 strike comes in, takes down by the X4. It seems like with the nano boost, they are able to retake the point, control the aggression coming in from the red side as they'll be taking first control of the point here.
Miss Nano from Blue Eyes causes the fight. They wanted the Nano to Ryan, but they missed Nano and they got the Boostio instead.
I mean, Jamming IX was the only person got a kill for his team there, but definitely a miss kick right there from Blue Eyes.
Hey, at least with the Nano Boost, he has speed already faster than the grab. They managed to beat the save from this grab. And the Shatter catch too. The counter Shatter from Vibes catches the Diva.
I mean, hey, it happens, man. Devlon comes out from Fafa's in. Defense matrix is there, but Vibes Fusion does fall. It's a Reaper duo, not really a duo because she basically backstab Fafa will get with a Reaper taking out the mirror as he unleashes his own Death Blossom, catches out 2, catches out 3, now looking for the low. That's the soul orb, actually by 2 HP, doesn't even need that extra boost of healing. A Skanky Sheep will be clutching out this fight for the Blues team.
Oh no, the stagger, they're staggering the baby Diva. And let's see, the both teams just running his mirror. Let's see, with TPK has a Shatter. And
yeah, it seems like the blue team is definitely the one winning out in this brawl. Mirror TK shares the shadow. 5 Fusion not really near to his own, but has a nano. The charge comes out, trying to charge with 5 Fusion, misses a bit, but there's the shadow right there, countered by Koro. Nano boost from 5 Fusion is just too much for TK to handle on his lonesome self. Nice shatter there from 5 Fusion as Fafa will capitalize onto Ayaku, who's on the ground. Fafa Zingari tearing it up in the back line, takes down 3.
For the viewers out there, there's a bugger with the Rhyme. You see he's half health currently, but he's actually full health. It's just fun. I don't know why it's like that. His total HP may show 982, but he can only go up to 500.
Yep. I mean, there's always the limitations trying to emulate something that's 5 years in the past, yeah? The game has evolved in a way that some things are basically unreturnable. I mean, the health things are a bit weird, but because it is what it is, as the red team finally gotten hold of the point after so long, but the blue team only one fight. They choose to maybe give out this fight. Skanky a bit sussy there with the Death Blossom, only catches out one, but forced to go back to his spawn along with the rest of the team.
Fafa explaining how it feels about
questionable with the Graviton, such that about low quang, yeah, another real grab today, but you know not what's not with it. Nano onto TPK. Shadow catches no one, but then he already got 3. What's the point of Shadow? It was just an emote on the battlefield. Just his dominance on the main tank. Some say call that an MTD, but 5 Fusion has his own Nano. TPK going to try to block it right now. Vibes only has a few members of his own team to support him right now. Gemini X will go in first to trigger overtime.
There's a 4 grabs missed this game.
No, I mean not this game, this day, but yeah. But it seems like at the end of the day, the blue team will be the one coming on top. A late kill on Blue Eyes will probably be nothing to nullify the damage that has already been done. Coral with the beat right now, just trying to do as much as possible, but gets whittled down to solo HP as Ganky and the Death Blossom along with the Nano Boost basically cleans up all of the red team as the blue team will be taking the point and taking Lijiang Tower. So that'll be the third map of the day. We have 5 planned today. If we can go through all 5 to this more than half a day done, experiences this nostalgia return back to the past. I play a
Not
game right
nostalgic
now.
seeing back the old pseudo goats before goats was even a thing.
I mean, well, nostalgic. I mean, Ghost is also nostalgic. It's been like 2 years since we had Ghost. I mean, time flies really fast if you think about it. 2 years since Ghost was removed from the game entirely. And Ghost was a comp that everyone hated. I think now people want to go back to it. It's pretty weird. Well, seems like Mememachine has disappeared for a short while. There'll be Legion now done and dusted. On top of third of this Overwatch Classic PUGS, I think actually they disabled the multiple heroes thing. That's why no one has opted to it. Because I'm sure if they had that enabled, everyone would be choosing to play it. But yeah. Seems like we're waiting on the next map to start. And of course, all these pucks are being balanced by a AI that we have, a bot that we have programmed. And yeah. But yeah, today has been basically a chill day, huh? How is everyone Saturday in the chat? Tomorrow is my day actually. Yep. This game is getting balanced out by the so-called bot. I think so we basically try to make the pugs basically as balanced as possible. Obviously some minute differences here and there, but I know we try to make it as balanced and as fun as everyone, even if you're a low rank player, even if you're silver or gold, still able to join us and actually improve your skills, because I think if you immerse yourself in an environment with a lot of higher rank players, you eventually naturally start to pick up skills, terms, single here and there, and yeah, start to improve. I think right now it's still only me. Bit awkward here. I'm just talking to myself, talking to a blank wall.
Okay, I'm back. You can stop talking to your blank wall and talk to me or talk to the chat.
I was talking to the chat earlier, man. I asked like the solid few people in the chat how's their Saturday. Seems like I got Dono award because no one actually replied me.
He's bad, man.
Yeah.
Chat kinda sus today,
LF chatters in the chat. Yo, what's up, Shadow Litton? See the chat. Said hi, chat. The chat is like one person.
See, the next game currently is in map Dorado. Sorry, Route 66.
We really played Dorado, man. Talk about leaving the past, am I right?
Yep.
And as we will be going into the game itself, we'll be landing on Big Girls on Route 66 on another OG map. We'll be playing today once again. Swaps around for the people who didn't get to play last game and balancing it out. And I think it's yeah. I was gonna say it was gonna be really hard to balance because you can basically play any role right now in the game. I can just swap to whatever, man. And someone should just play 6 supports for the lols. Do it, man. Wow, these teams.
Let's see. Both teams running the Ana Zen and his blue team running somewhat decent like somewhat current comp with the double flag support instead of what is normally seen.
5,
Uh,
4, 3,
red team just running solo tank diva with all healers. Yeah. Running all of the healers.
They actually took my advice. That's -2. I asked for all healers, they only gave me 4.
I think there's only 4 healers in the game right now, right? I guess
That's
if you exclude Sim,
yeah.
back then Sim was a healer.
That's a big anti-nade coming out, however, from Delph. Steam managed to capitalize this and take down 3 and dive. The solo tank diva for quad support thingamajig composition seems to be working out for a red team, but a bit of overextension there from 2 of the memos who get taken out. It will be down on his end, pushing the point, but green is wreaking havoc, just managed to clean up the low HP targets, low squishies of this composition. As they will be looking to advance on the point right now, but X4 is swapped over to the Hog, notices the amount of squishies, had enough for the Winston. I mean, Winston is also really good against squishies, but you know, whatever floats his boat. Unknown being dived right now, he needs to reload. And his own teammate will take down Ayako. That's a good kill. That's the main source of healing gone for the side of the blue team, but worry not because there is the trance coming out. Aaron. However, without the trance they have basically defense. Oh wait, he didn't even use trance, it was just a resolution on my side. the resolution is really low. I couldn't tell if he fought the trance or it was like the tick mark, you know.
Okay, now he popped the chance. Now Gemini X popped the chance.
I was like, why isn't the UI like going to like resetting after like 20 seconds? Or he didn't use trance.
Aaron has been popping off, he manages to catch and gets a Genji diff. Or he gets immediately rezzed up. Unknown had to pop trance. I think it was a Tracer that forced him out.
Yep. And it seems like Graph will come off of Farfazin because of the nature of the red side's position. If they do not eat a Graph, they're basically donezo. And that's what basically happened to them, just massacred on the room with the Mega Health Pack on Road 66. As Skanky Ship has another potential team piping ultimate with the Nano Blade combination. It's gonna be lethal against the comp, especially since Unknown doesn't have the trance. Only saving grace that they have with Levi's can charge up beat in the next few seconds or so before he whips out the blade, but the crack actually managed to catch 2. Skanky's returning the favor. That's 2 right now, and that's gonna be a 4v2.
Amazing set bomb from the Quack. He manages to put the bomb such that it catch and people hiding inside of the whatever the thing is.
Yep. And a late stagger onto green, a nice shuriken there from Iran. Maybe I can catch the trace out, I think. Needing to wait a bit longer before they can fully regroup, but Gemini X, fearless in the Zen, doesn't know the term regrouping but gets taken out. Zen Devils did a payoff right there, but as Nano comes out onto Skanky Sheep, the new Genji, but you know who's not neutral is Iran. He has the bait, he immediately chops out Ayako with the help of the sound barrier from Blue Eyes. But that's enough. 1 kill is enough to basically force the red team to retreat as they're still managed to win on this quad support composition. Seems like dive is coming out, Farfazin. He almost has the grab, but there's a diva in his face. He needs to force either the DM or break the diva out of the max.
Grab by the Zarya catching both their supports. However, they just get mass rezzed up, countering his good play.
Mass rise right now, chaos on the point, but it seems like with Skanky cleaning up, it will be the heavy player advantage for the side of the blue team as they stabilize the defense at the end of second point.
Blue team coming up, they have the blade, but it seems like they're just gonna have the dry blade. Let's say just farm up. Let's see.
Oh!
Ana slept, long range, can they make it? No, they cannot.
Egg almost got caught out by Unknown's volley there. Once again, a game of the blades. Ayako is almost ready, but not quite on the Nano Bruise, but because of how fast Ultimate's charge, he has it locked. Ready to give on the stack of ship shoot at any opportunity, but you run with the first blade. Only has a damage boost, doesn't have the nano boost, but there might be enough as looking at this Scotted Monkey right now. A Skanky on the other hand, he catches out the Mercy with the nano boost, and along with the rest of the team, Ayako and Gemini X getting the kills respectively.
I mean, look at the
Helping the team
speed
win
with
out
the
this
nano
fight.
blade. Even with the nano blade and the speed boost, he managed to fly from one side to the other side. Sorry, one side to the other side in like half a second, just by running.
Yep, definitely. So once again, the defense has been stabilized. Only 1 or 2 opportunities here for the red team to attack. It seems to be stopping on the Zen. One of the supports for Zaya, more normal composition, still has 3 spells support. But no multi healing is enough to save you ran right there from Fafazin. It's looking to just push through and take the space as much as possible, pressure the enemy so they can't even take the optimal fight that they want.
With the number of, with the all generations being huge, most of the time once the defending team manages to make a foothold, they'll be able to hold it for a very, very long time. Just like Dorado third managed to hold 3 minutes. Even now, they're holding for another 3 minutes.
Yep, definitely yes. Fafa is in high energy, but the high energy may not be able to combat the nano on the opposing Zaya unknown. An off-tank player by nature himself beams down 2 and catches out both Fafa and Brother X4. Solo rest from Deathcore isn't enough to cut it. Even with 2 trades, seems like the red team finally managed to push the attack onto second point. A few people left staggered. There's a questionable primal rage pop way before just try to stall. But the rest of the team aren't choosing to advance. Sound Barrier in the blade, but they don't manage to touch the point. And they just let the point go. A bit of wasted out there from the blue team as they're coming to the next fight with not any odds at all because they chose to commit like so many last fight in a losing fight.
Oh, they're switching up to Hog now. They're running the Zarya Hog, your favorite Hog in the rank.
Yep.
60 seconds remaining.
But they still have 3 spots. That eventually you get them the early advantage, but I think eventually as the game goes on, even though they have so much healing, there's not enough damage to pull off. But you know who's the support doing damage right now? This Gemini X on the Zen takes down 2 unknown with 2 himself. Ayako solo gets taken out there by the time. There's no saving for him as unknown is nearing up to his own Graviton Surge. There'll be the battle of the Graviton's next fight. Safa is on his own, but unknown under aggression chooses to use one itself along the nano as they run. Everyone's locked out, so there's easy headshots for Iran right now, taking out the Zen as well. It seems like with 90 seconds remaining, the red team will probably close out this fight and capture the point.
Oh, Unknown coming up huge, managing to stay up alive with 100 energy. He manages to just beam down the entire blue team.
Score 0 to 3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Seems like we'll be swapping sides. It's up to the blue team whether they can attack with a heavier time back than the red team or lose this game. Or maybe take it into overtime. I mean even if they win, they need to take it over overtime anyway. See what composition both sides will be playing. Skanky Sheep on the Sim for both sides. Triple support. Triple support, it seems. The Sim is a support, right?
Yeah.
Attackers incoming in
Back then the 25 HP was just funny. It was just like an old meme because I don't know even why they put her in the support role. Considering even Torbjorn, the old Torbjorn, used to give 50 armor down, and he's considered defense.
I mean, maybe because like back then they thought like they wanted to like make it like support isn't necessary, but healing is more about the utility, right? And Sim didn't really do as much damage, consistent damage back then, because you either had to be really close or you had to luck into one of the right clicks.
Quite going for his flank. Is he gonna catch anybody? He catches Ayako and manages to assassinate. Let's see. Oh, he gets moved off. Yeah, keep in mind the Hawk doesn't move when he heals. It's just a free boot for rXis.
He also doesn't really have damage resistance, so you can just sit out in the open, just press E like you can right now without expecting to die. You're still left like sitting out in open, even more when you press E because you're literally just locked still in the animation. Iran has the tactical visor, takes down Gemini X as both DPS is gone from the side of the blue team. Iran taking the high ground right now, the damage boost just trying to wreak havoc down below under the poor souls of the blue team, but now it's poor right now because Fafa catches out to support and thank goddess. This Lucio is butter explosion already. Iran with the bucket can't do anything. He just hit shots from Iran. He's somehow still alive. It's still slippery frog reactor is gets taken out, but there'll be a res onto unknown. Maintaining the tempo right now as this you catching out kills is the defending side of the red team. I think they'll be choosing to back off, not wanting to commit anymore, but they have the nano boost, I mean not anymore, as the grab comes out, catches out a Yako. That'll be a hard reset from the blue team.
Blue team coming up to the nano blade, let's see how they deal with it. Maybe they use the visor just to try counter it.
Yeah, and even without the visor, Iran is doing so much this map, just taking the high ground, shooting I mean, this is the new soldier, right? Without the spread, there's no way to emulate like spread right now. It's Gemini X, Nano Blade looks the Mercy, catches out the Mercy, catches out the Anna as well. There's both supports gone from the side of the red team. Looks on the Zaya, gets taken out by Iran, but I'm afraid it's too late without the rest. Then not even if he didn't die, he didn't even have it. The blue team won't be pushing through to the second point. I think that's basically given up right now for the red team. Just choose to reset and
Gemini
take position
X
of the.
chasing down the Ana with the nano. Chases
Yup.
them across the entire the gas station.
Steep coming out. XDC on the ground. Needs to wake up before the bomb catches him, but the bomb catches the quack on the Hoggins. They have no idea how he got called out there. Genji climbing out onto the high ground. Iran forced to take another position, but that's a really good angle he has on the off angle on the left hand side.
Leclerc tried to do
Oh,
the hero
but
play.
X4.
Wait, save the team from the bomb.
But X4 in the back line right now is unknown, gets rezzed out, but there's a loot, there's a roar coming back from the spawn. He surely didn't expect that one. Gets hooked right back on the spawn. He is. Nanoboost comes on to Fafa with the speed boost and extra damage. He's trying to zap down the tanks of the red team. But those are tanks for the reason now choosing to set his sights onto the Ana of Delph with his sleeps. And gets taken down by Fafa. Tag visor coming up from Iran. Catches out Skanky Sheep, but he's probably gonna die here by the Primal Rage. Oh, unknown. Sneaky high noon here. Looking. Oh, gets spot up. Can't hit the flashbang. Gets deflected. And I think he's dead here unless Genji whiffs the Thunder shot. But even if he whiffs, even if Zai's team are basically pushing because unknown isn't there with the high noon to draw them out. It's a lone hog on the point right now. Stall from the side of the red team, but Iran with himself Fafa's in. But I think even with the nano, I don't think it'll be enough to push this team through this tide. As the blue team will be advancing to the second point. Looking to
Blue
take
team
things
is
into
winning
overtime.
this fight even without the nano blade, as the nano blade is coming up. I see they're probably just gonna win the first fight. Aaron swaps to the Widow to try and beat and play the long range angles on the behind the truck.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to shoot some shots, land any hits onto the blue side. Just he has the high noon. It's up to green to defense matrix it for the next fight. Iran on the Widowmaker swaps onto it. Already got a few damage booster shot. That's a nice sleep coming out from Delph. Completely denies Gemini X. An unknown counters both the Genji and now the Winston. Flashes in fans, tanky shoot. Another fan have a kill, he's trying to look for the third, and that's beautiful right there from unknown. 5k three of which are fan the hammer kills and butt X falls to get taken down. This full team wipe. Side off to
But was trying to do the Reddit Lucio. He managed to catch Aaron out. It's huge,
He's
but
been
he
trying to
himself
Reddit
didn't
all
manage to
game.
get out safely.
Fafa pops the primal ridge and will
No
get
one can hide.
instantly headshot and brought down to half HP, but that's still enough to go onto the back line. Iran trying to grapple with. Keeps getting boomed, and there's actually a nano boost coming out. That's a volley shot, and with the 2 times damage boost is enough to one-shot Skanky ship on the McCree, but he gets taken out from the dive. Leclerc gets arrested back up. Unknown swaps in the Bastion, but it's not that efficient because Gemini X is there with the Primate Fire and Desire.
You can see soon the balance of Mercy Mass trying to come up. Even though she died first, it's a good thing that she died first. So that by the time she comes back, she'll manage to just res up the whole team. If she managed to get the res, however, it was just 1% off and just kind of.
Yeah, didn't manage to get in time, and if he had gotten just that 1%, he would have been immune for 1 second, so he wouldn't have gotten caught out even after rest. But afraid the mathematics didn't lie in Death Cause favor over here. He gets taken down just as he built up the rest.
Initiating match.
Seems like most of the games, most of the maps today are being sent into overtime. More maps, people to play.
You know, at least back then they didn't have this 1 minute, this 2 minute counter. So especially for certain maps, they could just go out for forever. You know, and people make fun of the 2CP right now. It used to be even worse. You know, now currently there's a timer if one team gets more than 2 minutes. So if both teams get more than 2 minutes, one of them will be the time will be shortened to 2 minutes. You know, back when you Overwatch first released, we didn't have that.
Yep, definitely. I mean, it took a lot of Kings and patches to become the Overwatch we know today. There's a rank going on the Hanzo has the scatter arrow from way back then. Looks different. Basically just particle effects from the workshop right now. Doesn't have the lunge, doesn't have to stop arrows, but then a few shots and it just could be as deadly.
60 seconds remaining.
But definitely, it seems like it'll be a spawn hole right now for the blue team. Along the Genji, a dive composition, a triple tank actually, not really a dive. But the main source of healing is gone and there's not enough heals. Alone Lucio cannot sustain the 3 heavy HP characters as the red team will collapse onto the blue team, taking down a lot of members.
Blue team almost managed to do the spawn hole, but sadly they lost just a few members and then they started trickling down.
Yep, definitely, as the red team will be attacking. 14 seconds left before it hits overtime. It's the bait. It might be the last fight at any moment here, and for any fight afterwards. Eren has the Hanzo scatter arrow, and the scatter takes down Fafa. There's a lot of HP gone instantly from the side of Fafa, and he's left wondering what even happened to him.
However, the blue team managed to catch out Del. Let's see how if he manages to come back in time before the blue team.
Oh no, Eren might get caught out here. A bit too overzealous trying to catch out with Ana with the scatter arrow, but gets taken down. But Green instead. So the nade misses. But Res comes out, Eren is back in the fight, is still a 6-man here. Fafa is sleeping. That's the main tank presence gone. A bomb comes out, however, and there's the blade, no nano, choosing to invest in someone else. Even so, Green dies to remake there, surprisingly. But I think the red team, the blue team finally has this one in the bag and they'll be driving the red team back to spawn and the round is over.
Score
It's now up to the
3
blue team to launch their own attack.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
The remake kills. The remake managed to. I don't think we changed the remake cold, so it still does the current 250 damage. Manages to catch someone the last fight.
Yep. I mean, why not, right? It's more chaos for the fun of it.
Ready for battle.
Seems like this blue team is basically devolved to just playing triple tank at this point.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's see
Alright.
what composition the red team will try to foster on the defense, however.
Oh no, Unknown's playing the Mei. I think they're gonna do the spawn camp.
Maybe
Never
not.
mind, he sounds back to the soldier.
Yup, just a seemingly normal composition here for the red side. No Lucio, however, the speed that Reinhardt is just going to try to be the poke battle. Speaking of poke, back then there weren't probably any poke tanks, right? Couldn't play Orisa, you couldn't play Sigma. If you want to poke
Oh,
this
huge
just right.
catches Aaron, and Aaron just. Oh, he manages
Oh, that-
to escape.
Even
not
escaping,
anymore.
you can't escape that anti-nade, however, from Ayako.
A huge sleep and anti manages to catch 3.
Yup, and that's a quick force from the blue side. So almost to the end checkpoint right now. With a stagger into unknown, it's going to be hard for the red side to come back, regroup as a full 6. Someone is to touch earlier, but to dive onto the Ana, he's so low. That's a good speed, preventing his own demise right there. It's stealth. And the red team is actually managing to come back from the defense. Because the blue team have more time coming into this attack, they still have solid amount of time left.
Looting coming out with a nano blade soon, just gonna clear everything out.
It's Primal being popped by Fafa. They choose to re-engage quickly before the red team can come back to their senses, as both Vincent's trying to devolve the fight, the massive chaos right now, and Nano will come out of Fafa. Basically an insecure under the quack, left defenseless against that nano boosted Winston. After the nano booster, Winston comes to nano, I mean not the nano, the blade. Doesn't even need the blade to catch out. He ran. Fafa is doing all the work here. Green is doing most of the damage, but Fafa is the one finishing up the kills. Can't finish up that now, have a lot of whips. It seems like at the end of the day, the blue team with that triple tank composition managed to win on top. I think over this past few maps, you can see what the composition clearly has an advantage here. Throughout the maps, it's always the triple tank composition that's the one coming out on top.
I mean, the fundamentals of goals. Still shall go on. Back then, when Ana Nate increased healing, doubles the healing rate, you know, the meta was a triple tank with Hog.
Yep, play of the game right there from Jimmy IX. Good 2 headshots, finish our kill on Zenyatta, and we'll be done with our 4th map, proceeding on to the last map for the night. Anything you haven't saw today that you want to see being played in Machine?
I want to see the 4 tanks, 2 healers, or the 5. Oh, what was the old one? The 5 DPS, 1 Mercy. Something janky, you know. We're gonna miss it in Overwatch 2 when it comes out, so we just better play it all.
Yeah, and Overwatch 2 will be in Rollock also, right?
Yep.
So like, just waiting for the final map to be played. I hope it's not too CP, because I don't want the game to be drawn out for long. Wishing it's gonna be a nice chaotic control map to finish up the day. Let's see what actually happens.
Let's see what map they choose. You know what is the final map?
Nope. I mean, since we're here, we just talk about random stuff, I guess. So, favorite memory in Overwatch? Go, Mememachine.
Running down flanking as brig in high rank lobbies. I think that will still always be my favorite thing. I will fight anybody. That's why I have this.
Yeah,
And yours?
I don't know. Probably just
One of my favorite was when I was playing in Ace. It was me and Suku on Dorado. We were just flanking. I remember I just pocketed his McCree because during the Ace patch, McCree had the super fire rate, but he had 200 HP. So it's just really devastating the stuff that both of us can do, especially the damage.
one of my favorite memories was in open division with my old team. I think we were all playing for fun back then. Back then it was the double shoot meta. My meta, you know.
Yeah, Arisa meta.
Yeah, and we went to a map fight with some team. It was kind of like a reverse sweep, but we took like the second map, so mid, I guess semi. I remember the game finisher was a sick pull meter strike combo. I did with unknown actually on Doomfist. Clutched out the fight. I think we won that game. I think the team was like 200, 300 SR higher than us. We won that. After that, I stopped playing the game. I want to be a manager.
Unknown true flexibility from sim player from back then. I guess they would do fist and now off tank.
Sim player to Sigma did. Moira as well. I mean, better than you.
Don't worry, I have higher peak than him. When in doubt, just flex, you know.
Flex the
Even if your skills
4.3k
have
peak
degraded
did.
all the time.
Flex the 4.3k peak did. 4.3 did.
That's right. You know, even if skills degrade, right, SR cap is still there, you know, it's permanent.
It's not even top 500. It's fine, I'm like diamond. What do I even know, right? Let's hit into the game. It'll be Illios. Yep. It'll be Illios to close out the final map of the day. Skanky Sheep on the Farah. Gets taken down quickly by TDK. The dive comes out of the trace to Lucio. Wins the trio from the side of the red team as they will be forcing the red team, the blue team back from the spawn early.
Blue team running the Lucio Mercy with the Ryan Zarya. Kind of interesting, especially it's gonna be kind of hard since they don't have the Ana for the sustain or the nano boost. Since the
And
nano
here we see
provides
Mr. Twatao juggling the McGree back in his spawn. Just trying to help him, you know. Go back
give him a
against
ride.
It seems like he's going with the boss when he's healthier and gets taken down. And then, but it's a big pulse bomb from Blue Eyes, but completely negated by the resurrection from Mr. Claire over here. As they're pushing back to the point, Huge Shadow comes out, catches on to multiple members. No rest for the side of the red team, no mercy for them tonight. The blue team will be taking counter attack and winning out this fight.
Blue team has 5 ults online. Sorry, red team has 5 ults online. Blue team only has 3. Let's see how they're gonna use it. Just spam Q and just charge in.
Don't even need a spam Q, you just Nano Blade. That's the main tank battle down quick for TDK as Carl on the Winston. Green can't do much on the blade because he's basically stuck into the Graviton Surge and it's Iran who's doing the work on his own blade. But it seems like eventually it's the blue team who will be the stabilizing there. Butter X4 basically been on the Lucio all night. Speeding around the map, stabilizing his team, and seems like the blue team will be stabilizing after a shot. Wow, but that's a risky jump in from Karo. Didn't manage to prop his Primal Rage in time and gets taken down by Iran, but the numbers still fall in the favor of blue side, but just as I say that, not anymore. Turn 2 comes in, it's a 3v3 right now on the point. Claire's dead, however, no mass rest for his team. As the dive is looking to capitalize right there. Grab to maybe save his own skin from unknown. Can't save himself at the end of the day, but can help Karu finish up some kills in the primal rage will be coming out. He runs just run the duck and weave as much as possible. 20 HP and a dream eventually gets taken out.
Oh, the grab comes huge. Even though he was gonna die, he just sent his goodbye to the enemy. Manages to catch off 3 people and kill 2 in the grab.
Yep. And there's TTK with a return Q on the green, catches get caught out by Kuro, however, and the blue team has consistently been in the upper hand this entire well stage. But Nano Blade may be what they need to turn the tide to their favor. It's a 3-man blade, but the rest comes on unknown. Relieve the odds a bit, but Aaron is tearing it up right now. Seems like, however, with his beat from the blue team as the green is charging up to his own blade, seems like in about 3% or so, he can be able to clutch this win out for his team. The primal comes out from TDKX, DC on the baby diva, catches out green, that's the big out gone from side of the blue team. They still have the high noon, pops it. Can't really do much, however, because they're just all over the point, diving into him, putting shoes in his face. Seems like the red team, after a long fight, will finally manage to take control of the objective.
Red team comes in huge, even though coming in with a deficit, they managed to turn the fight around. 99% for the blue team though, and the blue team just needs to stack up ult and just clean it up and finish the round.
They can't be happy for long, they need to stay on their toes because the blue team is coming back fast. But a kill onto unknown will be enough to soften the push in from the side of the blue team for now.
Blue team just waiting up, staggering up. Blue Eyes has a pulse. Does it come? Or he gets killed off. However, Eric comes up huge with the double kill. Catching the Mercy with the mass res and key targets.
Yep,
stops the comeback.
I couldn't pop the rest in time. This is Koro and Skanky along the point, but that may be enough to get the magic done. Hainu comes out, doesn't catch. There's a nice headshot on to the Lucio. Oh, that's a nice flash, another headshot. I don't know what XDC is going for there, maybe a remake kill, but he doesn't realize that Skanky still has the flashbang into the arsenal, and even though the red team was able to come back for a few fights, at the end of the day, it seems like the blue team is the one who has come out to play on well. They should be finishing up this fight fast unless a miracle can happen here from TTK. But without the primal fading out, seems like all hope is lost here. Is basically just trying to stagger, stall at the point in overtime. But a damage burst boosted McCree on the Skanky sheep, another high noon built up. Once again, he doesn't catch anything, but manages to zone out XDC, forced to remake here. As well will be taken by the side of the blue team. Fade away bomb there from unknown. Not necessary because the round is already over. But just once for the style points.
Ready for battle.
Alright, game face.
You see on Lighthouse,
Keep up with me.
the blue team is still running their Lucio Mercy with the Rhine currently, while the red team is still running their Mercy Ana.
Damage boost engaged.
Winston Diva.
4, 3,
Let's see how will blue team just turn out on point.
round 2.
Oh, they're running with the Rhine Diva this time, setting up kill boxes with the Genji. Hold up, Unknown has a bug. Unknown is stuck.
Let's see, he can get himself out of that precarious situation.
Oh, he can move now, okay. He cannot move.
I guess he needs someone to kill him, I guess. Seems like he called for a pause. But I don't really know what a pause can help him with, unless he leaves and joins back.
Somehow his W key died. Is this not working? However, he could move forward using the boosters. Let's see if it helps.
I think his diva character was just too fat that he's stuck in the tree. Oh sorry, can't fat shame. Later I get cancelled on Twitter.
Okay, Unknown is back. Let's see if it's fixed. And hopefully we can continue the match.
Yep. Dive coming out, collapsing onto the Mercy. Last one on the battlefield is Claire. And the red team, despite the blue team coming out top last round, they'll be the red team will be the ones who will be taking the first fight.
Yeah, unfortunate that Unknown had the issue. Or they'll be fighting a fair 66. Apparently Green got anti in his 1 HP and Aaron manages to kill it with the dash.
Well, life ain't always fair, am I right? Seems like XDC forced out on the high ground, got booped off, I think. See, Ren will be coming close to Blade, and West actually gets stunned there, but it was too slow. It didn't manage to catch up the pulse bomb, and he does get a kill onto Skanky shit. Sound Barrier comes out. He got up Green, but that's the rest support out straight up. By the end of the day, it seems like it's the blue team getting the better end of it. It's gonna be a Blade v Blade, but Karo is there to help out his fallen brother Green as the rest comes out. 2 men up, back in the battlefield with the blue team with Karo prime raging everyone on the point. Such an enclosed space, perfect for Winston's ultimate, forcing the red team back to spawn.
Blue team really trying their comp. Manage their Lucio. Let's see. Skanky has the high noon, trying to see if he can set it up, just bait out the GM and then he can manage to... Oh, never mind, he just cancels it.
Bomb comes out from Unknown. I think that's a bit too high, not even in the hitting range of anyone in particular or the enemy side. It's XTC, we're looking to take the space, place up his shield, advance on the point, dives out on Claire. Wants to catch up the key character, but it's Carl. The same thing, but managed to succeed. Actually, XDC also succeed. Both Mercies out of field by the respective Winstons. Still a brawl on the point right now. Carl pops the primal, juggling both supports right now. Trying to take out the Ana, but there's some good pocketing from Vibes. And now left in the corner all alone without any resources left to back him up as he gets taken down. Green has the blade, Claire has the rest. 2 key ultimates for the blue side. Let's see if they can turn this fight around. Somehow Green catches out Vibes, but gets killed himself by Iran's own sword. Sprawling the point once again right now. Chaotic is the name of the game today. Thought okay, takes out Unknown with the Diva Bomb. But rest on both sides. Let's see whether any Mercy chooses to use the ultimate. Claire might choose to use it. That is solo rest onto Skanky, another solo rest onto Iran. Both DPS is back in the game. But it's Skanky who catches out the duo. Right there, taking out Iran with the high noon. Bomb comes out, Unknown doesn't catch anyone. Manages to remake. Overtime right now is just a lone Diva getting Nano on the point of TPK, but Ana is there on the sideline to keep him sustained. But I'm not sure it's enough. Good anti-attempt, catches out 2 there from Delph. Butter is low, but Butter does not fall. Butter stands on the point. Koro with another primal rage. A lot of low members here, a lot of members on the deficit here for the red hand side. They might be fighting a losing battle. XDC tries to throw the dice in their favor, but no dice will be thrown today because there's a beat there from Butter X for providing the shoots for every one of his team. Seems like the Sheer will sustain coming out. Sheer Force comes out, and the blue team will be the one who take the final map of our Overwatch Classic 2016 throwback, whatchamacallit, PUGS of today. It's 5 maps down, 5 maps will be ending it.
GG. As we walk down memory lane, seeing what it is with all the old comps, all the old meta, and even testing out the old janky stuff like
old comps with newfound knowledge from the past 5 years. And there's a page that we tore out from the history books, that our page will put back in one that's gonna be left in the dust of whatever bookshelves it is in. and that's it from today. Fun experience, certainly fun to watch also. So overall thoughts, this whole 5-match machine, any closing words?
It's just good to see like everybody.
Yep.
It's quite interesting to see how Overwatch has evolved, you know, from back then to now.
Yeah,
How
and
the different balance changes, how they affect different numbers, and even the rewards.
yeah, definitely good to see a lot of different players here today. Players may not have been around, and also a good place to set our expectation level for Overwatch 2. Like Overwatch 1 didn't launch as a perfect game. A lot of different changes that needed to be fixed, heroes that needed to be reworked, balance patches that needed to come out, and I'm sure it will be the same for Overwatch 2. But much like Overwatch 1, let's just hope that it can come out to a game that a franchise that we love, and of course.
Help make sure to overcome the growing pains, you know, and become the good
Yep.
game it's supposed to be.
And that's it for us, and looking forward to next year. I hope that our region, the Pacific region, the SEA region, the Singaporean scene can bounce back and be a bit revitalized with a new game coming out. And that's it for me and Mememachine. Any final words? And let's close it out.
Just see you guys. Thank you,
Yep.
chat, for coming
And remember,
here.
for luck, catch us on all our socials. GGWP, like us on both Instagram and Twitter. Join our Discord for more events like this. We have the Community versus Pro event coming up later this month. Remember to sign up for that. Next month we'll be having some special events, maybe a tournament here in the works, something to throw back to the history books there. But that's for a later announcement. That's been me, rXis. Catch me on Twitter, rXis Overwatch. Mememachine on my right. Mememachine OW on Twitter. That's it for us. Thank you to Vips for producing, and catch you guys next time whenever we see.
Alright, see you, chat.